Manchester United's FA Cup final triumph in 1990 was the catalyst for a change in the club's fortunes. In the 1993-94 season, United was still on a high from their title success the previous season, and led by the irrepressible Eric Cantona, were gunning for further honours. United had already knocked out two Premier League sides, Sheffield United and Norwich, in away ties in the third and fourth rounds respectively. The fifth round of the FA Cup saw them go to Selhurst Park. Their opponents were Wimbledon, the Crazy Gang, a team with a history of ignoring reputation and ability.
The FA Cup this season has been memorable for so many shock results. Can Wimbledon produce the biggest of all by knocking out the favourites Manchester United? Well, Wimbledon take great delight in their reputation of upsetting the aristocrats of English football. And it was only 6 years ago that they won the FA Cup, beating Liverpool at Wembley in their greatest ever triumph. Well, Manchester United are still in the running for a domestic treble, which has never before been achieved. The Premier League champions are currently 7 points clear of Blackburn at the top of the table. They're one game away from Wembley in the Coca-Cola, that's the League Cup, and if they survive this test, they'll be through to the last 8 in the FA Cup. For the fourth game in a row, United are unchanged, and even though they haven't been scoring many goals lately, their defensive record has been superb. 5 clean sheets in their last 6 games. They've gone an incredible 31 games without defeat. So the match underway, with Manchester United also, of course, in their change strip of yellow and green. Wimbledon playing Manchester United for the first time ever in an FA Cup tie. And several of these Wimbledon players have been viewed very enviously by a lot of the Premier League clubs. Hughes with the first shot on target here, and almost in fact producing the first goal. Hans Segers called into action very early on. I think a lot of the Wimbledon players thought the referee was going to blow for a free kick in that moment. He didn't, and the ball broke loose to Hughes, who tested Hans Segers. And the Wimbledon goalkeeper, the Dutchman, with a good early save. Giggs with the corner, and this time the referee's whistle has gone and the free kick has gone in Wimbledon's favour. I was going to say a lot of these Wimbledon players have been eyed very enviously by various Premier League clubs, including Manchester United, who it's rumoured would like to have striker Dean Holsworth join them next season, if not this. Joe Kinnear on the right of the picture, the Wimbledon manager, who's done a great job and got an FA Cup winners medal himself in his playing days at Tottenham 27 years ago now. But now they've conceded a free kick for a foul on Mark Hughes. Being quite literally held there by Scales. Coming up to 20 minutes gone at Selhurst Park in this fifth round FA Cup tie. Wimbledon 0, Manchester United 0. Parker for United. Cantona. Dear, that's inexcusable, frankly. Vinnie Jones should be booked for that. If the referee lets that one go, then he's going to let anything go in this game, and he could have trouble on his hands. There was no doubt what Vinnie Jones was trying to do there. He did it, and he deserves to be cautioned at least for that. It's a totally unacceptable challenge. Referee waving everyone else away from him. And Joe Kinnear knows as well as anyone that you can't do that on a football field and get away with it. As it happens, there are more Manchester United fans here today than Wimbledon supporters. so he's not going to get any great sympathy from the spectators either. A yellow card, the least he deserved. Terrible challenge. And let's praise Eric Cantona for not reacting. Bruce with the free kick for Manchester United. And Fashanu got the shout then from his goalkeeper Sagers to let it go. Goal kick. Poor free kick actually by Manchester United. I would have expected better of them there. Good header by Blissett, stationed out there on the left, and then another challenge by Vinnie Jones that the referee will want to speak to him about. He could be in more trouble here. He's got to be in more trouble. Again, it's just not acceptable. You can't do things like that on a football pitch. He could be off, and I would have not an ounce of sympathy if he goes off. He winds himself up to such a degree, he goes diving in on tackles like that. He will make the excuse that other people try to make it look worse because referees know about his reputation. Mr. Ellery is laying down the law here. I believe he's saying to him, one more challenge like that and you're off. And he is not exactly one of the more lenient referees, Mr. Ellery. I'm a little bit surprised he hasn't sent him off straight away for that. Well, he has, and I'm sure Joe Kinnear will tell him, he's put himself on a real knife edge now, Jones, and about 90% of his game is his physical aggression. If he can't use that, he's nothing like such an effective player, and he must know now he's got to tread very, very carefully, because I believe if he's involved in one more incident, he'll get a red card. Robbie Earle hasn't really got going, and that was an equally naughty challenge, in fairness, by Mark Hughes, who's not exactly one of the great saints of the football pitch either, and in fact was sent off in the previous round against Norwich after having scored what proved to be the second and clinching goal for United in that game. Manchester United 7 times winners of the FA Cup. 3 of those victories coming in the last 11 seasons, in 1983, 85 and 90 under Alex Ferguson here, and with Brian Robson the captain on each occasion. Shows you how long he's been around. Can't force his way into the current Manchester United team. I think Ferguson was telling his players then just to make sure they kept possession in these last 3 minutes of the first half, not try anything too risky, as Jones plays it forward towards Blissett. Parker gets it clear. Elkins. That's a Wimbledon throw-in. Too far, I think, this one, even for Vinny. Elkins again. That's a poor ball. They've got to do better than that, really, in possession, Wimbledon, because it's extremely hard to get possession against Manchester United. And Fashanu hasn't had too many openings yet. Not since that first effort anyway, in the opening 5 minutes, when his header might well have produced the goal against a rather lesser keeper than Schmeichel. Hughes. Irwin. Elkins gets it clear, only to Cantona. What an effort! What a goal! Magnificent! Eric Cantona. 2 minutes to half-time, and Cantona scores a goal that I don't think any other player on the pitch would have been capable of scoring. That was absolutely magnificent volley. Elkins must have thought he'd done enough to get it clear. One touch on the volley, whack! Sagers beaten. A superb goal. Eric Cantona's 18th of the season. If that's enough to gain a place in the quarter-final for Manchester United, then it is truly a goal worthy of winning any game. Oh, that really was special. But Wimbledon are going to have to produce an awful lot better to trouble United in this second half. Giggs. Cantona. Cleared only as far as Earl. Poor ball straight to Irwin. Now Keane. Lifting it forward for Giggs, and it was a difficult bounce, and Giggs, oh, how did he not manage to finish them off then? Hughes still has the chance to, and Wimbledon will look back on that as the moment when they could surely have gone out of the FA Cup. A second goal for Manchester United I would have thought would kill them off, and it looked absolutely odds on then. Ryan Giggs couldn't find the back of the net, and Wimbledon survive. Great ball here, wasn't it, by Keane? Beautiful, lifted over the top. Barton got himself in trouble. You would have absolutely bet money on Giggs to finish then. I think it actually hit the goalkeeper on the shins as he hit it. Let's have a look from behind the goal, that'll tell us better. Yes, it did, and that deflected it onto the post. And suddenly Manchester United break loose here, and they got a spare player, Kanchelskis. Keane in the box, others arriving. And the shot by Keane was deflected off Scott Fitzgerald. Corner kick. And even when Wimbledon do get forward, and it's not that often, they run the almighty risk of Manchester United breaking as effectively as that. Giggs with the corner. Kanchelskis. This is Parker. And now Irwin. The goal scorer, Cantona. And the linesman's flag. It's, I believe, a throw into Manchester United, yes. And they've gone on with it quickly. Kanchelskis. Well, that wasn't a bad effort. He arrives late like that, Ince, and he ought to really get more goals, I think, than he does over a season. Just 3 so far this. And Kanchelskis with a lovely little layoff straight into his path here. So are Manchester United to take the next vital step towards the dream of an historic treble. And here is Andy Clark warming up now, the Wimbledon player I was mentioning before. Ashnu couldn't get a hold of that. Kanchelskis does for Manchester United. They're chasing shadows most of the time, Wimbledon, in all fairness. Giggs. They're up against superior players, and that's no shame, because most teams that play Manchester United find themselves up against superior players. Here's Giggs, one of them, to Kanchelskis, to Cantona. Delicate little ball in towards Hughes. Brilliant save by Sagers. Oh, that would have been some goal as well. It was a glorious move by United, and Hughes with the header that seemed to be sneaking in beneath the crossbar. Sagers produced a fine fingertip save onto the bar and out for a corner. 2 great chances now for Manchester United to have made it 2-0 in this second half. Sagers has denied them both times. Giggs whips the corner in and gets another corner out of it. Holdsworth back defending. All hands on deck for Wimbledon now. And that's another. It's Ince. It's 2-0, and it's surely a place in the quarter-final for Manchester United. It had been coming, really, hadn't it? A second goal inevitable, really right from the kick-off of this second half. It came in the end from a rather unlikely route from an Ince header. You don't see too many of them. 64 minutes gone. And I would think the bookies, if United can survive this, will close the books. Manchester United will be odds-on favourites to win the FA Cup now. With another Premier League side having gone out this very day, Aston Villa at Bolton Wanderers. In fact, there's not too many Premier League sides left in it now. Strange competition this season. But Manchester United, the one consistent factor. Cantona tried to return it straight back to Giggs on the left. I could see the intention, but it didn't come off. 20 minutes remaining for Wimbledon to try and change the nature of this game. 2 down. Cantona with a magnificent volleyed first half goal just before half time. Ince with a header from a corner in the second half. And Jones the throw in action again. Pallister with the header again. He's been first to every one of them. Cantona. Lovely ball. Kanchelskis. Parker getting forward. And Keane. Ince. Got so many options. And just come out and start again. And a touch of the old Ole football now for Manchester United. Owen. Ince. Owen again, that's brilliant play. Brilliant from Owen. What a magnificent goal that was. Ole football indeed. Well, that's the kind of goal you can only dream about. How many passes went into the making of that? 6, 7? Here's one or two of them. Ince, Irwin, flicked it round the first defender, cut inside the second, and finished crisply into the corner. And this time, I swear, even the Wimbledon fans are applauding. What a brilliant goal. Parker. Oh, I'm sure he did that deliberately there, Cantona. Let it run through. He thought Hughes was right behind him. Well, he's an envied man, Alex Ferguson, to have players of this ability at his disposal. And he's going to bring another one on now, Brian McClare, and Dion Dublin. He's going to give a rest to a couple of the regulars. Cantona goes off to huge applause. Take a break. Get your feet up. Another big game Wednesday. And you, Mark Hughes. Rare opportunity for two others to come on and have their opportunity. Dion Dublin, £1 million player, very unlucky in his Old Trafford career. Broke a leg quite early on in it. Doesn't get many chances now, nor does Brian McClare, who was in the side which won the FA Cup in 1990. And we blinked then and missed another Vinnie Jones long throw. Look at that kick. And Kanchelskis is first to it. Fitzgerald took a bit of a risk, but he knew what he was doing. Sensible tactics, you've got to say, by Alex Ferguson, taking off Cantona and Hughes and replacing them with two new front runners, because they've got so many matches lined up. And both Dublin and McClare will be desperate to make some kind of impact here in the last 15 minutes, just a little over, because they don't get the first team opportunities very often these days. And great cheers from all the United fans for the two players substituted. They don't seem to mind being substituted, did they? Get it away for the umpteenth time by Pallister, and then Parker with a vital little foot in there. They don't hoof it, Manchester United. They play their way out of trouble. And we've now moved into stoppage time. Ince, scorer of the second goal, to Giggs. Not on the score sheet today. Kanchelskis. Space suddenly opens up there for the winger. Keane. Giggs. And the space opens up for him and he finds Dublin. All way off though. It's all over. A comprehensive victory for Manchester United. Dennis Irwin scoring the third goal that really sealed a runaway victory for the English champions. Hughes played his part earlier on, was substituted eventually. Ince with the second goal, a header from a corner, and Cantona had scored a magnificent first goal with a volley. No wonder he's smiling. Alex Ferguson has quite simply the best team in the land, and he has now to add to a League Cup semi-final place, an FA Cup quarter-final place, and the home draw at that, and they're top of the league as well. What a season this could turn out to be for Manchester United. The final score at Selhurst Park in this FA Cup fifth round tie: Wimbledon 0, Manchester United 3.
In the semi-final against Oldham Athletic, United needed a late equaliser from Mark Hughes to stay in the competition. After winning the replay, United then beat Chelsea in the final to complete their first ever League and Cup double.